In the mid-14th century, the Black Death plunged Europe into a silent terror. People vanished overnight, villages emptied, cities turned into vast graveyards. But how did this catastrophe reshape the destiny of Great Britain? The Black Death shook Britain to its core, transforming its society, its economy, and everyday life. And from the ashes of devastation, a new world slowly emerged. The plague's journey began in China and Central Asia, fueled by natural disasters and famine. In 1347, during the siege of the Genoese port of Caffa, the disease spread rapidly among the soldiers. Then came one of history's most chilling moments. The bodies of dead soldiers were catapulted over the city walls. Historians now consider this an early act of biological warfare. Fleeing ships carried the infected across the sea, silently delivering death to European ports. By the summer of 1348, the plague reached southern England. Dorset and Southampton became the first victims. From there, the disease leapt to Bristol, then traveled inland through the Severn River. London's dense streets and constant trade allowed the plague to spread with terrifying speed. Wales and Scotland soon followed. In a grim twist of irony, Scottish forces, marching to punish England, carried the plague back to their own homeland. Death followed no strategy. The plague was more than an illness. It erased nearly half of Britain's population. Before the outbreak, England had up to 6 million people, Scotland 1 million, Wales 250,000. This population was the very foundation of the medieval economy, and that foundation was about to collapse. Across the country, nearly half of all people were gone. London ran out of burial space and opened special plague cemeteries like East Smithfield. The number of wills surged from 16 to 222. Death touched every household. Wales and Scotland suffered the same fate. Clergy caring for the sick were among the most likely to perish. The church staggered under the loss. Rural areas collapsed even harder. Records show death rates of 50 to 60%. Around 1,300 villages were abandoned. The sudden loss of manpower shattered the economic and social order. The feudal economy began to break, but survivors gained new opportunities. Laborers suddenly held bargaining power. In 𝐾𝐚𝐥𝐼, a ploughman's wage rose from 2 shillings to 10. Serfs negotiated freedom and better pay. Feudal stability cracked. The government tried to intervene. Laws like the Ordinance of Laborers and the Statute of Laborers attempted to freeze wages, but no law could stop the labor shortage. People sought better lives, and tension grew. Fields were abandoned. Fallow land increased. Sheep farming surged. Wool became the heart of the economy. Cities also transformed. London remained dominant, yet new textile centers rose. The plague forced a strategic shift in agriculture and trade. The Black Death reshaped culture and belief as deeply as it reshaped society. Former serfs gained mobility. A stronger yeoman class appeared. People were no longer merely surviving. They were shaping their own futures. Economic pressure and the infamous poll tax triggered the Peasants' Revolt of 1381. John Ball's famous question echoed across England. Are we not all descended from Adam and Eve? The Black Death had brought death, but also the seed of rebellion. Meanwhile, the Church's failures led to the rise of the Lollard movement. Under John Wycliffe, calls for an English Bible spread. The idea of a direct relationship with God took root. Death saturated art, literature, and daily life. Danse macabre became a symbol of death's equalizing power. French and Latin declined as English grew. Writers like Geoffrey Chaucer gave voice to a transformed society. The Black Death became not only a tragedy, but a spark of renewal. Demographic collapse brought economic opportunity. New classes emerged. Culture and religion shifted. Feudal hierarchy weakened. A more individual, market-focused society began to form. History reminds us of a simple truth. The greatest catastrophes ignite the deepest transformations. The Black Death pushed Britain toward the modern age, leaving a legacy that echoed for centuries.